Hey guys, it's Cali. Today I'm going to show you how I made this super cool hippie flag just in time for Independence Day here in the United States. I was inspired to do this after I saw a video from Whitney Sews, and I'll link her video below, as well as many examples of these on Pinterest. So if this looks like something you'd be interested in checking out how I made it, stick around and I'll show you what I did. It was super simple using things I already had on hand. And yeah, stick around. I'll show you how. Okay, as far as supplies go, I have my sewing machine here, but you can use a needle and thread or a hot glue gun if you want. I have an iron here that I use just for crafts. Have material of your choice. I have lots of ribbon. I'm going to use some beads and charms. Anything you can think of. Lace. Piece of denim. I have a peace sign template just cut out of paper. Some heat and bond. Applique adhesive. Seam binding. Bias tape. And a cloth marker. Pair of scissors. Lots of pins. And I use my rotary cutter. And I have a cutting mat here too. So that's what we need. Let's get started. So the first thing I did was to take some of this bias tape. You can use any kind of trim that you want. I just like this because it's already pre-folded and already the work is done for you, but you can make your own. I don't normally measure things, but for the sake of this video, this is 22 inches long. So this is what we'll be laying all our ribbons and the fabric strips into, okay? So set that aside. And then the next thing we're going to do is cut our biggest rectangle. And this would be where our stars are on the American flag. So again, for the purpose of the video, I'm going to do this. Oh, it's a folded piece of fabric, okay? So here's the folded edge. This will go when we lay our bias tape open and start to sew. This folded edge will go right in here, okay? Just on the bottom. We're going to work on the bottom, and then when we're done sewing everything in, we'll fold this over and sew this on top. But I'm going to measure this out to be 7 across, and I'm going to use a rotary cutter, but you guys can use whatever you have. So 7 across by 6. So a rectangle. Okay. So this is what we're looking at here. You can do whatever fabric you want. Doesn't matter. All right? Do you. You're going to want to leave about an inch at the end, okay, that we're not going to put anything in, just for the purposes of hanging it if we want. But the first step, you're going to open up your bias tape. You're going to lay this down. I'm doing this upside down just to show you. And if you have a sewing machine, use your sewing machine and just sew it in. If you don't have a sewing machine, use a needle and thread. If you don't have a needle and thread, I'm sure you could use hot glue, but I wouldn't hang it outside or anything, okay? So you're going to put that piece in there. Once that piece is done, you're going to begin to add. And you should have a big pile of your ribbons and your fabric strips next to you to work with. And you're just going to lay them in here one by one, overlapping, sewing each individually along the way, adding, get a good base down first, and then add more of the smaller, thinner trims, okay? Sew these in all the way across, all the way across. When you get done with this up here, you're going to want to do the bottom of the rectangle as well, okay? So open it up, and you'll be laying in your strips down on the bottom, just like you did up top, but these will hang too down here, okay? Don't worry about stitches showing unless it's important to you. I really like how it gives it a boho organic feel, but if you want to make it very precise and neat, you can do that, or you can leave it free-flowing. Get creative with your trims, throw in some burlap, throw in some lace, anything you can think of. Once we get all of these fabric strips and ribbons sewn down, I'll see you back here. We're even going to add some patriotic red, white, and blue, okay? Get this all sewed up, and I'll see you back here before we go any further. It's going to take me a while. Okay, I don't know if I made it clear that when you're sewing, you're going to sew only on the bottom edge of this bias tape here. You're going to leave the top edge free because we're going to fold it over, okay? So the first one, we're going to put the rectangle in, and like I said, the folded edge will go up here. And I'm going to use my machine. I have it on a zigzag stitch. And give it a little back stitch, and then off you go. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we're looking at. All right, and like I said, this edge is free, so we'll be able to fold it over the top. So I'm just going to continue on and add my ribbon, add more pieces, and like I said, I'll be adding to the bottom here. Same thing. If it helps, you can use pins to hold in your fabric, if you want to get a taste of what it's going to look like before you sew it. However you want to do it. And like I said, it helps to do the bigger fabric pieces first and then add the smaller ribbons on top. But play around with it, and I'll see you back here when I'm done sewing everything together. Okay, so I tacked this to a door so I could work with it more easily, and I just wanted to show you the progress. I'm pretty much happy with the placement of the ribbons and the cloth. Let's see if I could pull all the way back here. I added, lace and burlap, yarn, lots of ribbon. You could see the pins at the top. I don't have everything sewed in yet. I just wanted to be comfortable with the placement. And like I said, this is left open, and we're going to be able to fold this over everything. So we'll hide all of the top there. And I'm also going to put a ribbon piece across this top here too, just to neaten it up. And I'm going to be adding, let me see if you can see these. I strung some beads with some stars on them and some crystals and some peace signs at the bottom. So I'm going to be adding those somewhere on the piece as well, either together or separate. So I just wanted to give you some ideas and show you the progress. I'm going to continue sewing this, and then I'll see you when that's done. Okay, I want to show you one more time before I take it back to the sewing machine. This is all sewed in now, including the beads, which I think look really cool. I have everything anchored down the way I want it. I think it looks really cool, guys. Sorry about the wonky lighting. It's really late here. I'm filming late at night, so working with what I got. But doesn't that look cool? Kind of looks like a skirt too, you know? You could wear it like an apron. So the next step, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and then we're going to just fold over this edge here and make this all nice. And I'm also going to take a piece of ribbon and lay it flat over here to cover those rough edges. So let's do that now. Go nice and slow, you guys. That way you'll catch all the edges. There's no rush here. Okay? So you just want to keep folding it as you go. You can trim off all these strings when you're done. Alright? So I'm just going to finish it up this way, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so we're almost done, you guys. The bias tape has been sewed. I put a little piece of purple ribbon across the edge here, you could see. And I think it looks really good. I'm loving how it's looking. So the next step, we're just going to add the peace sign. And hang on, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, for this next step, I've plugged in my iron, and I have it on medium heat. And this is a beat-up iron I use just for crafting and stuff. So have that on medium. I took a piece of denim from a piece of pant leg, and I just cut it out. I have a template of a peace sign. You can do a heart, a star, anything you want. I have a cloth pencil, cloth marker to draw around it, and we're going to use this heat and bond. And this will, you can applique if you want and actually sew on the design, but this makes it a lot easier. So the first thing, I cut out the material, and we're going to apply the heat and bond, and it just looks like this. It's paper on one side and it's adhesive on the other. Okay, and it says to apply the adhesive side. Okay, so the paper is going to be up. Adhesive side to the back of what you want to do. Okay. So paper up, adhesive down, make sure everything's covered. And then I'm going to take this iron, and iron it. It said for 2 seconds. I'm going to check it and make sure that it's adhering. And it is. It's also adhering to my towel. Okay, that's great. Perfect. Okay. So next step, we're going to take whatever symbol you want. Okay. And you could either pin it down or whatever. I'm just going to go all around and trace around this. Okay. And then we're going to cut it out. So I'll be back when this is all traced and cut out. Okay, I've got this all traced out, and I just want to show you. I don't know how well you can see it. I think you can pick it up. All right, and I'm just going to take my scissors, and leaving the paper on, I'm going to cut out this symbol. Okay, so I'm just going to cut around my marks. And then when we're done with this, we're going to just iron this onto the background of the flag. Okay? So I'll be back when this is all cut out, and we'll iron it on. So here we go. This is all cut out now. Still has the paper liner on the back. It stayed really nicely, but we're going to peel that off. And it comes right off. Real shiny, see? Put shiny side down where you want it. And this time we're going to hold the iron on for 6 seconds, it said. So I'm just going to kind of move it all around the whole thing. I think it takes a little longer this time. And it is only on a medium heat, so. Oh, seems to be working. Okay, so like I said, you guys, if you want, you can sew it and, you know, applique by hand, or you could take this shortcut. And like you could use fabric paint if you want to paint a design. You could glue it on. You could do beading. You know, check out Pinterest and you will get lost. The options are many. So there you go, guys. And I'm going to call this finished. I'm going to trim up some of the strings and hang it up and take some pictures. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this project. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. I would love it if you do. If you do anything like this, if I've inspired you to make it, please give me a shout out. Let me see what you've come up with. I would love to see. Okay, so I'll hang this up and be back with some pics. So here's what it looks like finished and hanging up, you guys. I outlined the peace sign with my Faber-Castell brush tip marker, and I kind of trimmed up some of the strings and the edges a little bit. This is what it looks like hanging on the back of my door here. I just really like it a lot. I hope you guys like it too. I hope I've inspired you to fly your freak flag high. Peace and love, you guys. Love you so much. Talk to you soon. Take care.